If you want to save money on your trading card purchases, we have a promo link over at 50cards.shop. Enter the promo code ATNIGHT to get 5% off your order. Hey everybody, welcome to Nexus at Night, your weekly Vanguard podcast. I'm Atlas.
I'm Matt.
And these are the dragon abs, because Atlas wanted to focus on this for some reason.
I see.
I was just doing it to, I always feel kind of bad about Matt having both things in a row. So I figured this is easier at the beginning and the end.
However you need to defend it, I understand.
I mean, those cum gutters are just something to gawk at.
Pause.
Pause what? Anyway, we're doing a set review for DZBT-04 Destined Showdown. For people who haven't seen or heard these before, we go through the set card by card from the top rarity all the way down through the double R's and any other cards that may interest us.
42. Oh my god.
Sweet zombie Jesus. Let's make it quick. So, starting off, we have Twin Pulsive Dragon, who's got abs that will rival Alt Miles. He's a grade 3, 13k. When placed on rare, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Varga in its card name, Energy Blast 3, check top 5, choose up to one grade 2 or less from among them, call it to rear. And then auto when retired from rear by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Varga. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets plus 5k till end of turn drink.
Why does it even have if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 2 or greater?
Who knows?
Varga doesn't care, right? Like, you can do it when they're on grade 2, the restand.
Yeah.
Okay. And the 5k is the difference here, because
there isn't one. I don't have a good answer. It seems like that was left over from like an earlier draft, and they were just like, I don't know, leave it in. It's fine.
This stuff's all very funny to me. They just kind of throw, this card doesn't have enough text on it. We'll just put it on here.
It's like when you don't have enough words in your essay, so you just start like throwing in quotes and shit so you can meet the word count.
Well, you're supposed to like discuss the quote that you throw in rather than just throwing it in.
Yeah, but still, I'm the English teacher here. This looks pretty good. It's an extender for Varga. I don't think Varga uses energy much.
Not really, no.
Yeah.
More importantly, this is deck thinning.
Yes, also good. Then we got Destined 1 of Scales, Aliquilibria.
All right.
I hope I got that right. Grade 3, 13k. Act on Van. Once per turn. Soul Blast 2. Choose 3 of your rear guards. They get plus 5k till end of turn. If you choose 2 or more rear guards with the Overcharge ability, draw a card, and this gets plus 10k till end of turn. I'll get to that later. And then the Divine Scales Act on Van. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, Counterblast 1, choose 2 of your rear guards. They get plus 5k till end of turn drink. If your opponent's damage zone has 4 or less cards, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, ping it for a damage, and then the power of the trigger effect revealed for this damage check gets minus 10,000.
Neat.
Does not nullify the overtrigger.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it does a little.
Yeah, that minus 10 is going to make a huge difference. They're only going to be 990,000.
Yeah, 99,990,000.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's 100 million, not 1 million.
Yeah. Even if it was 1 million, it would still be like laughably stupid. Oh, whatever, I'm not going to get into this. This seems okay. I guess
this is I think every Destined one in this set is going to be like a context needed card.
Yeah.
Should we look knowing? We'll just talk about. We'll just eventually get to overcharge units. I presume. I assume there's going to be high rarity ones.
Yeah,
I hope so.
So we'll just we'll keep this card in mind. But it's going to depend a lot on the rear guards for sure. Yes. Oh, look! Speaking of,
yes, like Drag Ritter Shalhub, Grade 2, 10k. During your turn, if you have 3 or more units with the overcharge ability, this gets plus 5k. And
Sure.
then overcharge auto on rear once per turn. When your Vanguard attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, you're right, Matt. They really do just put these in there for text. If this unit was chosen by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard Aliquilibria, and its card name, Energy Blast 3, stand this unit gets...
Hold on, no, this card actually feels like your opponent should probably have to be grade 3 in order for it to get this ability.
Yes.
Yeah, good point. Because
the last one did not.
Yeah, if it was Counterblast or something, I probably would be madder now that I think about it. Energy being self-replenishing. Yeah, this is good. This is a nice card.
Yeah, this card's incredible.
Yes.
It's like for Blame
25k restandard, 15k, 25k, probably 33. Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad, guys.
And remember, like, Alcalibra is going to give it power.
Yes.
Yep. And this card's just freaking constructed. Just you're gonna play 4 of it all the time. So
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it seems like that's the new thing that we're getting. Is for the Faded one, they have a grade 2 that uses energy in some way that just you got to play 4 of. Why wouldn't you? Okay.
We'll see that, but
yep.
we'll see that when we get to it. But yeah, you're definitely playing for that card. All right, so now we have Providence Disorder Barrow Magnus.
Finally, he gets a retrain.
Unfortunately, now you got to listen to these people again. No, I'm so during your turn, this gets power plus 5,000 for each card with a Barrow Magnus in its card name in your soul. And when it attacks in Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 and perform all of the following based on according to the number of cards in soul. 10 or more, draw a card, it gets a crit. 15 or more, choose any number of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponents put them into soul, and then you choose 2 cards and call them out. So it's like the old Barrow abilities.
Yeah.
But it also has a 20 or more that triple doors your opponent.
Okay.
Opponent has to call 3 cards at the same time. So it's just Barrow again, but sometimes it's slightly bigger.
Yeah, it's Barrow, but slightly more Barrow. Instead of 5, 10, 15, it's 10,
This
15,
is
20.
Sure.
This is boring, but it's better than Barrow.
Yeah. I also like the random first ability where it's like for each Barrow Magnus and Souls. So they're like, run the old one. No, you wouldn't.
No. Who's going to hope to soul charge like 2 other Barrows along the way and be 20k?
Yeah. Or just,
and you probably will because you need 20 cards in soul.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the Persona ride at least is now a 15k by nature, kind of.
Right.
So that's kind of neat. This seems like this should have happened a year ago.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Or more. But what are you?
I'm mostly upset about just how like boringly competent the design is. It's like we took the old Barrow and we put another ability on top of it. Look at us.
They could have accomplished that with the set order.
Yeah.
Set order.
But that requires you to run like a brick.
Yeah. So, all right. Moving right along.
All right.
So the next card we have is Vidrock Dragon. So it's grade 2. When it's placed on rear, other than during your battle phase, you soul charge 1. And then you can counterblast 1. Choose a grade 2 or less card with different card name from your soul. Call it to rear. If you have Vanguard without Barrow Magnus in its card name, put this...
Blankmeyer.
Blankmeyer, sorry. I just thought it was Barrow Magnus because, I saw a B.
Yeah.
Without Blankmeyer in its card name at the end of the turn, put the call unit in the soul. All right. Makes a guy. And then during your turn, it gets a power plus 10,000 for each 4 face-down cards in your blind zone.
Good.
This is good.
Similar
to Vart.
Your words.
Yeah, like, a lot of people were just playing the grade 3 order that basically does this, where it's like soul charge 1, then you can call something out of your soul. So this is just that, but it's a body instead.
Yeah,
right.
And a body that gives itself power, so it's not just like, I used this on one turn and now it's just hanging out there.
I do like the design of the first spec, where it's still kind of like maybe usable outside of Blankmeyer specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, the unit's going back, but call a thing.
Yeah. And there are a lot of decks that just, can use a temporary body, even if it's just to like eat it again,
Mm-hmm.
like Borrow Magnus.
Yep.
or Pale Moon or whatever. Like
It's just like I need a dude on board.
Yeah, good card, and I'm bummed out that I did the Blindmire profile before this because I would have used this.
Get owned, nerd.
Oh well.
I mean, this is like 2 sets away.
All right, so now back to football.
The energy here is electric.
Football season's coming. All right, so now we have Diabolo Eli. So when it's placed in the rear, other than during your battle phase, if you have a Vanguard with Diabolos in its card name, you can energy last 3, look at top 7 of your deck, choose 2 normal units with Diabolos in their card names from among them. Jesus Christ. Reveal them, choose up to 1 card with a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from among them, call it to rear, and then put the rest of the reveal cards into your soul.
Okay.
So look at top 7, get 2 normal guys, call 1, put the other in the soul.
Which you can then call out with other stuff too.
Right.
Which is cool.
And then if you're in Final Rush, it gets boost, and if you're in Final Burst, it also gets power plus 5,000.
Yay.
This is pretty good.
I don't know enough about Bruce to like evaluate this card.
So far as I can tell, it seems like whoever's playing Bruce like just really likes Bruce, and not because it's a good deck. And like, I'm not really sure what's keeping it at this point. It seems like it could be good, but you just no. This is helpful.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If you're looking for specific things, this card is definitely is a lot more appealing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like deck thinning, it's board building, it uses a resource that the deck normally doesn't use.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure this is good, nobody plays Bruce.
Yeah, it's also telling you to live long and prosper. That's pretty awesome.
I think if you have no Energy Blast cards, you might as well.
Yeah.
There are some decks that just I came out before Energy was a thing, and they'll usually give you some support where it's one thing to use the energy, but you're I don't know, I'm running the energy cyclers. What do you want from me?
Yeah, but yeah, spending 3, maybe +1, fine.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so to Brand Gate we go.
Yes.
Brand Gate we go.
And they did the really annoying thing where they put the support card before the card it supports.
I love that. All right, we're gonna. Do you want to wait? So let's read the second card first. Then is that what you're implying here?
Yeah. So we should probably read Impaldio first.
All right, let's read Destined One of Exceedance Impaldio. This thing looks weird. All right.
This looks like Messiah and Ezel had a baby.
Yeah, kinda. No planets though.
Got the hair. No,
right,
no,
so
wait, right there.
Not on the joints though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
So act once per turn, counterblast. Choose a card from your drop. Put it face up as your self modification gauge. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 grade 3 or less card from among them. Call it to rear. Shuffle the deck, and this unit gets all your front row rear guards or units get power plus 5,000 for every 2 of your self modification gauges. And then Divine Skill, act if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and you have 4 or more self-modification gauges. You can counterblast 1, discard a card. This unit gets critical +1, drive +2 until end of the turn.
Okay, we probably have to go read the stupid token order too to get context on the modification gauges.
Oh God. Wait.
It's all the way at the bottom of the set.
Okay.
Of course it is. Where else would it be?
What's the name? It's
System code exceed token.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna Control F this thing. There we go. Bam.
All right. So this thing, God, this token
cannot be put in a deck. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a token.
Okay, so
you cannot write grade 3 or greater cards without Polio and their card names. You may have self modification gauges. When a card is put into your damage zone during your opponent's turn, choose a card from your drop and put it face up as your self-modification gauge. Then if you have 3 or less self-modification gauges and your card other than a trigger unit was revealed for this damage check, choose one of your Vanguards against power plus 5,000. If you have 4 or more self-modification gauges, choose one of your... Wait, what?
Vanguards. And
So
your-
basically, if you have 3 or less, you only get 5k if you don't check a trigger. If you have 4 or more, you get 5k regardless.
I see. How bizarre.
yes. Consolation prizes. Yay. All
So
right.
putting stuff into your self-modification during your own turn doesn't give you any power. Only during your opponent's.
Yeah, but then like Impaldio gives power for every 2 gauges.
Right. To all your front row units. That's kind of
Yeah.
neat. What a weird thing. It's
Yes.
a divine skill. Doesn't feel like a divine skill, but I guess the cost is pretty cheap for what it is.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's fine. It feels a lot like that one Dimension Police stride that just gains like critical and drive +2 or something like that.
Yeah, but where's the
And then, like, because you get power from all the self-modification gauges, like, typically ends up being, like, 38 or something at least.
Cool.
What's
So
big?
wait, is it Vinster? Is that the next one?
Yes.
Yeah, Vinster.
Or the first one?
Flying Conversion Vinster, yeah. So this is another grade 3. It's support card for Impaldio. So rear guard during your turn, if you have 2 or more self-modification gauges, it gets power plus 5,000. And if you have 8 or more, it gets draw. This
You
unit
cannot
drive
decrease its
cannot
drives.
decrease from card effects.
So that's including its own. Which is from the second effect.
So this unit attacks if you have 4 or more self-modification gauges and no drive checks were performed for the battle. Your rear guard attack this turn, you can counter +1. Until end of the battle, this unit performs drive checks and gets drive -1. At the end of the battle, bind this unit. So I see. So at 8 gauges, this thing gets a twin drive on rear.
Yes.
That's sick.
So that's kind of Impaldio's thing, is just, like, getting a shitload of drive checks. So, like, typically 3, like, once you get to 8 gauges, you can get 4 or 6 if you use the Divine skill.
Mm-hmm.
And Atlas has, like, disappeared, so we can't move on to the next card on screen.
That's true. Yeah, I think so you get some by taking damage,
Mm-hmm.
and you can some other cards. I assume there'll be like some support cards, like the Ride Line probably puts a couple in there. And then
Boy, that would be really nice, wouldn't it?
it doesn't. This is cringe.
I was gonna save my evaluations for the end, but since Atlas is not here and we need to fill dead air, Impaldio is easily the most, like, unfinished deck of this set.
I see. So when I read the card, I assumed the Ride Line would put a card or 2 in the self-modification gauges, but
The grade 1 gets you the set order, and then the grade 2 can put a card from the top deck into the gauge, and then you can optionally put a gauge back into your hand.
Okay.
So you
Cool.
get, like, 1 off of your ride line, maybe, like, a couple from taking damage. It's like, my experience with the deck is you usually get to, like, 4 pretty consistently, and I have yet to actually get to, like, 8 in a timely fashion.
yeah, 4 seems pretty reasonable, like because like you're gonna take some damage over the course of the game, but 8 seems like a fucking long shot if the Ride Line doesn't help you that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, Impaldio feels kind of unfinished.
I see.
Like, the deck really does need to just, like, high roll, because when your drive checks are, like, crit OT, the deck feels unstoppable. And when you don't...
This is the Brandgate OT we're talking about. So crit OT means you fucking win most of the time.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you...
eat damage, you idiot.
Yeah, but also, like, taking damage defensively, or taking triggers on damage defensively, especially once you get to 4 gauges, like, getting plus 15k off a damage trigger actually does do a lot defensively.
Right.
So it's like, when the deck high rolls, it feels really good, and when you don't trick triggers, the deck feels really, really bad. And there's just, like, not enough support cards for it to feel like a finished deck yet.
That's unfortunate.
I think that tends to happen with most. Like, very rarely does an archetype release, and then people are like, "This is perfect." No notes.
I mean, like, we're still waiting to look at more overcharge cards, but I will say Alcalibra does feel like a finished deck out of the
Touche.
set.
All right,
All right.
that's pretty cool.
Talk about this long-eared lady.
This lady.
Blitz publicist.
Fenlichta?
Fenrita.
Fent.
I'm going to use the Japanese name because it's
Fenrida.
easier.
Okay.
Okay, so grade 1, when card is discarded from your hand during your ride phase or main phase, if you have a grade 3 or Vanguard with Ballista in its card name, you may call this Welstra, sorry. Blah. You may call this card the rearguard circle. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
On rear, once per turn, act. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Welstra in its card name, you could Energy Blast 4. Choose a product with grade less than or equal to your opponent's Vanguard's grade in your order zone and operate it. The cost of that original's product operate abilities is reduced by Counterblast 1 until end of turn.
Okay.
This card seems pretty sick.
Yeah, seems good.
Not bad. I just picked up Welstra, so deck profile coming sometime in the future.
This feels kind of like a create a card for Welstra. I'm not gonna lie
Yeah.
Yes, actually, because there have been games where I'm like, what am I supposed to discard, man? This feels awful. So there you go. That's the answer. And then Energy Blasting 4 can be a hefty price. It depends on how many of the Death Star guys that you draw or search. And if you just come up nothing with that, this is going to be pretty steep.
So we've seen some Energy Blast 3 and now this Energy Blast 4. How many cards have Energy Blast less than that?
Welstra himself, actually. He Energy Blast.
Yeah, there are a handful of cards that Energy Blast 2.
Okay, that's good. So Welstra being 2 is kind of nice because then 2 plus 4 is 6. That's 2 turns of energy, right?
Yeah, so it's either 2 turns of energy or the Death Star looking thing is when you play this, draw a card, energy charge 3. So
okay, cool.
But you will guarantee yourself that once, but the rest of the game it's do you search it? Do you take it in damage? What happens, right?
Right.
I think, but this is a definite inclusion in the deck.
Yeah.
Lauren, if you're out there listening, please correct me in the comments because he knows the deck better than I do.
I feel like energy is something you should have an excess of. Energy charge 3 once should be enough to allow you 2 turns of doing these because you play 6 in total between this and Welstra. So you probably have 6 stocked up from just riding up, and then you energy blast the 6, then you get 3 back from the satellite, and then you charge 3 the next turn. That allows you to use both again for another turn.
Yeah.
So that at least guarantees you 2 turns of being able to do both.
Mm-hmm. Being able to reduce the cost of the operating by 1 means that the big aircraft carrier looking motherfucker that bounces something and calls mid battle phase, and minuses the opponent. This just got a whole lot nutsy.
Yeah, because the thing is, you don't call it until later into the battle phase anyways. Frequently, what I see people do is they just keep abusing the -5, over and over again.
Yeah, you'll go swing, operate, -5, swing, operate, -5, Vanguard, swing, operate, bounce, call.
Yeah.
Also -5. Yeah. Very fun. Great. Good card.
Let's keep rolling here.
All right.
Wait. This is the grade 2 that... Never mind. Or the grade 3 from that they used to play from set 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That randomly became a boss unit in set 13.
And then they made another boss unit.
Yeah. So the destined one of protection, Alden. So when a card would be called by this unit's ability to a rearguard circle with a unit, return that unit to hand instead of putting it into the drop zone. And then on attack, you can counterblast 1, draw a card, choose a card from your hand, call it to rearguard circle. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, it can't be retired by your opponent's card effects, and it gets plus 10k. And then Divine Skill, act, you Soul Blast 1, look at top 7, call 2 to rearguard circle, and until your opponent's next turn, they can't be retired by card effect.
I'm just getting dollar signs in my eyes thinking of using this with Jewel Knights and Premium. So I'm not a good person to ask about this. Go ahead.
I mean, I feel like it's not actually going to be very good at that.
Oh, probably not, but I just love the idea of overdressed boss in a premium deck. It just is fun to me.
I think it could work. It's just that calling things with its effect is actually a lot harder than you would think. Because the Divine Skill means you can only do the act ability once. I really wish this didn't have a Divine Skill, to be perfectly honest. I think it's a really cool concept for a deck. Everyone knows I like Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
So being able to bounce cards from back to your hand is like cool, and I wish that aspect of the deck was more repeatable. Like you can do some interesting things like getting back Persona rides and PGs that you call off the act ability, and I just wish I could do that like more. Other than that, it is like a Keter deck, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I need to describe a Keter deck to everyone. I think everyone at this point can just envision what a Keter deck looks like in their mind's eye.
Paladins.
Yeah.
Now, when you were like on Twitter, however many weeks ago this was, you were talking about how Lyons is like a deck that's constantly fighting itself to do what it wants to do.
Well, yeah, because Lyons is Murakumo.
Makes sense.
I think that explains everything.
Okay, so this isn't the same problem. It looks like.
No, this is just a paladin deck.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you can possibly screw up, draw a card, call something from hand.
Who knows? Who cares? All right. Go ahead.
Heavenly Blade of Liaison, Razianel. So, when it's placed on Rearguard Circle, you can Energy Blast 4, draw a card. That's a bit expensive. When your other unit is placed on the Rearguard Circle this unit was on by the ability of your Grey 3 or Greater Vanguard with Alden in its name, the placed unit gets plus 10k, and then if your opponent's Vanguard is Grey 3 or greater, you can Soul Blast and stand one of your other Rearguards.
Okay, at first I was going to be like, Laylee did this better in Jewel Knights, but being able to stand something else is not too bad.
Yeah. The only problem with this card is it doesn't gain power by itself, so like sometimes like her column can be pretty weak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On the plus side, like it looks like she's just meant to go first.
Yeah. But like you still want that to be a good number, right?
Sure, but like there are decks that are like, okay, I have a card that's important, but it's going to hit for something comparatively weak. Just do that first.
Yeah. But it's better if all your numbers are big. Anyways, the funny thing you can do with this is just place it during the main phase and then call over it with Alden's Divine Skill, so you still get the plus 10.
That is funny. You're right, Matt. I don't know why it's Energy Blast 4 for a draw.
I thought like all the draw things were Energy Blast 3, and this one's randomly 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, like Energy Blast 4 is weirdly expensive.
Oh, well.
Like compared to the last like Energy Blast we saw, why is this one just draw a card 4?
What if they were like, we got to make all the Energy Blasts 4 in the set? Kidding.
We've already seen 3.
I know. That's why I said kidding.
And the 3 was a restander.
Yes. And so is this one. And that's not even like if it was Energy Blast 4 for the restand, I'd kind of understand.
I think honest. Okay, what I think it is they have a dartboard. Every time they're selecting an Energy Blast cost, they just throw a dart wherever it lands.
Energy Blast 7. That's too much, Gary. Reset it.
Also, I like the art.
Yeah, it is nice art.
Triple 20, Energy Blast 60. Let's go.
Okay. Knight of Perspicacity. Catalyst.
That's a fake word. That is a fake
That's not
word.
a word, dude.
I'm going to Google it now. I have to know.
I'm doing it. You read the card.
Okay. So it is a grade 0. When it's placed on Rearguard Circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Resile, choose one of your units, it gets plus 5k. And then if it was placed by Vanguard ability, it gets power plus 10 instead of plus 5. And then if you have a Resile Vanguard, it can intercept from the back row and has intercept.
Okay.
I know why it's a grade 0, because it's like you can call it for free basically off of Resile's ability.
Yes.
But like, this is not a triple R.
Okay,
this is a triple R. What the hell?
Perspicacity, the quality of having ready insight into things. Shrewdness.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah.
It's made up word.
Like, all of the things that this card does are like perfectly fine. But like, it being a 6k itself is kind of weak. Like, Alden has a grade 0 card because he also has this weird thing with grades. But that gains 2k to be at least like a normal 8k booster. This doesn't do that. It also like doesn't gain any extra shield value off its intercept. It just feels like a very weird card to be printing.
And this is a triple.
Especially a triple R.
Yeah.
This card would have been a common in G era.
A common
Yeah.
or a rare at most, I think.
Maybe. Right.
Yeah. Like, I feel like you should at least get, like, an extra 5k shield or something if you intercept with it.
You would think. Like, at least Maliva, which is a promo, gets extra shield for every Dragon Tree marker. But no. They gotta be this way about it.
Yeah. So it, like, fulfills a utility in the deck being basically a free call with the weird grade restriction. It's just that, like, I don't know that it actually does enough.
I don't know either. Richard is a big Reziel fan. I'll have to ask him, but this doesn't seem like it's doing a lot. Or if you are playing it, it's like a 1 or 2 of.
I mean, I think if anything, it just replaces your starter.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, no draw for me, but hey, extra stuff later. All right,
whatever, just go first.
Okay, so Destined 1 of Infinity Levidros is finally Mega Colony gets their due. This is weird bug dragon for Stoichea.
We had a bug.
There have been a few bugs around, but like a bug, right? The bug. Yeah, I know the thing with the Blitz orders. A good one. So act on Van once per turn. Counterblast 1. Choose one of your and your opponent's rear guards each and put an Infinity Eyes marker on them. What are Infinity Eyes markers? Auto on Van when any fighter's unit on the rear guard with your Infinity Eyes marker attacks or boosts. You may have that unit get plus 10k or minus 10k until end of that battle. If your opponent's unit got minus 10k, remove your Infinity Eyes marker from that rear guard and you draw a card. And then the Divine Steel is act if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater. Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your and your opponent's rear guards each. Put an Infinity Eyes marker on them, and he gets 10k and a crit for the turn.
Another context-needed card.
Yeah. Do you know which one in particular? Is it just like the next one?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so
But
Unfall...
Levidros by himself is mostly just a setup card. Like, you kind of need to look at the rest of the deck to see the actual effect of having Infinity Eyes markers.
Yes. So Unfall Anodogast is a grade 2. When this is placed on rear, if you have a Eyes marker, I'm just going to say Eyes marker, in the same column, Energy Blast 3, look at top 2, choose a card, put it in the hand, and put the rest on top or bottom, and he gets 5k till end of turn. And then continuous on rear during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Levidros, and you have 3 or more Infinity Eyes markers, this gets plus 5k, and if you do not have another back row rear guard with the same name, this unit can attack from the back row.
Cool. This card is very good, like, deck thinning, but it also can, like, just stack your deck. I believe, like, the way you're counting infinity markers is that, like, the ones on your opponent's circle are still yours. So if you go second, they should be able to attack from back row right away. Because you can just, like, you use the counterblast to get 2, and then Divine Skill gets another 2, so you have 4. So this can attack from the back row.
Like this Energy Blast 3 is better than drawing a card?
Yes, it is. Why is that card Energy Blast 4? It's so annoying.
I don't know.
I feel like this ability is what the grade 3 for Alden should have, right? Like, stacking your deck is a very Keter thing to do because of OTT.
Yeah, it's got the bones of it, I think.
It really does feel like those two abilities should be, like, swapped.
Like, if it were, like, Act, Energy Blast 4, draw a card, I would understand. But they're both on plays.
Yeah, I guess Alden can recycle the on plays because he, like, bounces cards back to your hand.
That's probably the reason, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. But yes, this card is very neat. I like him.
Yes, and we'll get into a discussion about glow nipples later, because I know we had that argument. Ethereal Cadence Lagros, grade 2. When this is placed on rear, choose a grade 3 card with Leonore in its card name from your ride deck, and you may reveal it. If you reveal the card or you have a grade 3 or greater Leonore Vanguard with Leonore in its name, Counterblast 1, check top 7, choose up to 1 Leonore, put it into your hand. If you did not put anything, draw a card, and then on rear guard or guard circle, if your back row has 2 or more grade 1 or less rear guards, this gets boost and plus 5k and 5k shield.
This seems fine.
Yeah, good Leonore support.
Yeah. Like, I don't have that much to say about it. Leonorn is a deck that just plays, like, different versions of herself, either the mask or the other one.
The orange one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you're gonna need to find the other one no matter what. So, yeah, you have a searcher for it. Yay.
Yeah, I think that like the orange one is the more scary one from what I've played against. But
Some decks will just do a hybrid of both, just because, like, the mask gives you a better turn 3.
fair
Oh my
enough.
god, it's so pink.
All right, Lizzo, let's go. Your turn.
Alright. The Destined One of Supremacy, Lycia Fail. So, when this unit attacks while it's not boosted, Energy Blast 3, put 2 or more rear guards into your soul, and it gets Drive +1, and it also gets 5k for each card put into the soul for its cost. And then Divine Skill, at the end of the battle, it attacked a grade 3 or greater unit. If your soul has 6 or more cards, which is very easy, Counterblast 1, stand it gets Drive -2, and until end of the fight, you get all of your Vanguard with her name get Power +5,000 and Critical +1 active on both turns.
What the hell? That is a crazy divine skill.
This is just MLB, but pink.
It's pink. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny to
Barbie.
me that this divine skill just like has like a game lasting effect where like
Alden's divine skill.
it kind of reminds me of ADP in Pokemon.
What's ADP?
Arceus, Dialga, Palkia. So Pokemon had something similar called GX moves. And basically once per game you can activate one GX ability, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the one for Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, or ADP was like for the rest of the game, all your Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage. And if it kills something with like an extra energy, it takes an extra prize card or something. For the rest of the game.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's just like, and it costs 1 energy to use its. It costs, and so basically, if you have an extra water attached when you activate it's a GX move, then you get to take 1 extra prize card for every Pokemon you knock out.
Yeah. Anyways, this card is insane. It is like extremely powerful. I don't really like the art personally. I'm getting really tired of cat girls. Please stop.
It's like Barbie meets strawberry shortcake. It's
See, normally I like things that are obnoxiously pink because they annoy other people. I'm just like tired of having cat girls. This is the 3rd cat girl archetype that we've gotten in Lyrical.
Look, I'm not changing for my cat girl in Final Fantasy 14. I'm sorry to say.
But I will be playing the hell out of this deck because being obnoxiously pink will annoy other people.
Yep.
So,
and just play the opening song from the Barbie movie as you stunt on your opponent.
Seems absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing is that you do kind of minus yourself for the first ability, but like we will figure it out. Anyways, if you have Brilliant Restage, Abelina. So if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lycia Fail, it gets power +5k, active on both turns. And when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lycia Fail and its card name attacks, if you have no other front row rear guards, Counterblast 1, stand it. And then if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it gets 10k until end of turn.
That's interesting.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So deck naturally makes 4 attacks, 5 with like the restand on Lycia Fail, but that's only once. Also, I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I didn't figure this out until Different Fight pointed it out in his own video. You can hold the restand ability, so you can like attack with Lycia Fail if you're using the Divine Skill. You can attack with it first, get your 3 drives to stack it up on this card. Then like you restand the Lycia Fail, attack with this, then attack with Lycia Fail the second time, and then restand it. So you have like 4 drive checks worth of triggers on it.
That's pretty whack. That's oh my god.
Very amusing.
Yeah. So yeah, this card is crazy.
Shingles.
This is pushed. This is so pushed.
Yeah.
And then it's the same thing with like every like Bermuda Triangle where they
Minto.
Yeah, no, I think like the latest Lyrical set was also crazy. It produced like 3 meta decks.
And in this one, we have a young woman's journey from Milan to Minsk. Seinfeld fans, hit me up.
Moderate Mint Rochelle. So it's a grade 1, 8k. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Chris Rain attacks, Energy Blast 3 put into Soul, draw a card. If a rearguard did not stand by a card ability this turn, stand one of your... stand a rearguard that was chosen by Chris Rain's ability. So they did errata Chris Rain so that when you like check for the number of different names you have, you're choosing all of your units. So it doesn't necessarily have to like choose something that you gave the plus 15 to.
Okay.
Just wanted to point that out. But Chris Rain desperately needed this.
Okay.
Like, the deck was just missing that oomph factor. Like, I hate that it's just, like, another attack. They could have gone the Zorga route of giving her, like, rearguard criticals or some sort of guard restrict that's not only on Chris Rain. But, like, I will just take the extra attack.
Sometimes you just gotta keep it simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this card's good. Chris Rain has an insane early game, too, so I think that's...
It does. I almost got stunted on it.
I'm just shocked at how ridiculous the other two lyrical cards are.
Yeah, for sure.
They're like comical.
It's going to keep getting good too.
All right, let's get into them double R's. Sealed, Blaze, Dragon, Apalra. Grade 2, 10k when placed on rear from hand. If you have a Vanguard with Sealed Blaze, look at the top 5. Choose up to one card with the Overdress ability or Dress Boost ability, or up to one Arms card from among them. Discard it and shuffle. And then in drop, when your Vanguard is armed, Energy Blast 3, call it to rear, and it gets 5k. You are the one who plays Bob Sagra. You should be the one who has a...
Why does it have to discard it? I mean, I know why. Because, like, most of the time, you're going to mill, like, the Trick Moon or the Arms card, and then you can, like, call back Trick Moon with Bob Sagra. But it is this annoying thing of, like, no, you can never get a standard plus. You have to, like, go through this convoluted loop of, like, you have to discard the Arms card, and then you gotta get a different guy to arm from the drop zone to be able to, like, use it.
If you don't draw that guy, well, you fool.
You SOL, yeah.
At least the second effect is good. There was another one that was like Counterblast 1 call from the drop zone plus 5k, and you like don't have the Counterblast for that.
They should let his first ability trigger when he's called from drop.
Or just anywhere.
Yeah,
let him have it. What's the big deal?
I didn't even notice those from... Bob Sagra is a bad deck. That's probably going to be like the next discussion video.
It does say from hand on it, don't it?
Yeah. They are real careful about letting some decks plus versus others.
Yeah, no, like Bob Sagra just feels like it constantly has to be jumping through hoops to get a plus. Like you'll get there eventually after doing like a 4-card combo.
And they're like, yeah, 4-card combo. It's consistent because this is the anime. All right, Ice Petal of Fiendish Beauty, Mafuyu, grade 2, 10k. Continuous in the front row on rear guard during your turn. The auto abilities cannot activate by your opponent's intercepts, and all of your opponent's units put on guard or rear guard.
Put on the guard circle from
rear guard lose their continuous and auto abilities.
I hate this kind of design. Like
me too.
We already have a hard enough time with defense, with like getting defensive abilities, and they're just gonna print cards that nullify them.
Yeah, skill drain on legs, cool, awesome.
Yeah, like it only works if you're like moving from rear guard to guard circle, but like still, that is annoying.
Yeah, and continuous abilities too. So that means if I'm playing against this, I have to like hold all my Malivas and be like, all right, I'm guarding with them.
Yeah,
from hand.
Like, it's just I don't like this kind of design. Like everyone complains about defensive power in standard, and they're just like making it harder for no reason.
Yeah.
Also, for the record, every nation gets one of these, so if we see it, we can skip it.
Okay. Now the question is: are there decks that are like going to like jam this in? What deck is like I need to put this in there?
I mean, this feels like a meta call, right? Like if special intercepting abilities become common enough, then you will probably tech this in.
Makes sense. Pick up a playset, sit on it, and cry. All right. Cool. Detonate Bull Dragon. Grade 1, act on rear guard if you have a grade 3 or Vanguard, grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Gree in its card name. Retire this unit. Choose one of your Vanguards. It gets red text. Continuous on Van. During the battle, your unit with Undra in its card name attacked. Your opponent cannot play blitz orders from hand, and when they would call cards from hand, 2 or more at the same time.
So notably, the grade 3 Vanguard for this archetype has both names.
Fun.
Yeah, it's just them attached, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a battle door for at least 2 battles, because I believe the gimmick is that it calls Andra from the soul to the... And then it can, like, attack from the back row or something. Or...
Okay.
Yeah. I think Andra can attack from the back row somehow. I don't remember now.
Great. I vaguely remember this. Drag Creandra.
This is a grade 3.
Somehow it gets the ability to attack.
Oh, this guy from set 2. Forgot about
Yeah,
that.
okay, well, this is the grade 1 rest itself to allow Andra to attack from the back row.
Okay.
So the thing is, like, you rest the grade 3, call the grade 2 from soul, and then, like, when the grade 2 attacks, you restand the grade 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, both of those attacks will have battle doors attached to them.
Not
and
bad.
it gets, like, decently big numbers. This seems good.
Yeah, not a bad card at all. And then Drag Ritter Ealdil. Grade 1 8K when placed on rear. If you have 2 or more units with the overcharge ability, here's another one. Counterblast 1, draw a card and soul charge, and then overcharge, continuous on rear. If this unit was chosen by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Alcalabra in its card name, it gets plus 10k. Nice.
Alright, so I think this is all the high rarity ones, so I will just say every single overcharge grade 1 gets plus 10k.
Alright, that's fair, I guess.
So, yeah, that is the thing with Alcalibra, is, like, we already saw the grade 2 that, like, restands itself, and so the other thing is that your columns are just ridiculously huge.
Okay.
So, for example, if you made a column with, like, this and the grade 2 becomes 20, 5 from Alcalibra, 5 from itself, and then this is also just a 23k booster. So that is a 40k column, and then the grade 2 will restand and become 30k from his own ability.
That's pretty whack.
Yeah. I think Alcalibra is easily, like, one of the strongest, the most obviously powerful of them, and probably the most, like, brain dead, easy to pilot as well.
Do you think it's going to be expensive?
I'm not sure.
I hope it isn't, because then this would be a very easy deck to teach people with.
Mm-hmm.
All the money's going to go into the lyrical cap.
I mean, if this becomes meta, it will be expensive, and I predict that it will. It reads a lot like Gondiva from set 10. You know, except without all the retire, right? Where it's just like, yeah, just casually gain like 20k on a column.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am quite terrified of this deck, honestly. Like, testing against it, there are times where even if I don't have the grade 2 that restands itself, just because it, like, can burn you to 5 damage and then swing in with, like, a 50k column very casually, that it can just, like, win the game anyways.
Okay. You've convinced me. That's pretty cool and scary.
So Consequence Dragon is just the thingy. So we're going to move on.
Okay.
It's the intercept denier thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we can skip right on past that.
Great.
Do a moment of silence Shurin. When it's placed on rear from hand, choose a grade 3 card with Bear Magnus card name from your ride deck and reveal it.
Oh.
If you reveal the card, you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, or you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Bear Magnus' card name. Choose a card from your drop, put it in a soul. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Bear in its name, it gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn.
All that for 5,000? That's it?
All that. Well, it also puts a card in the soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it, like, wants to be sure you're playing Barrow to put those cards in the soul for some reason.
Yeah.
And then auto, when it's placed on rear or from rear into soul by a ability of your grade 3 with Barrow, you draw a card.
Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty
It's
cool.
fine.
I don't understand why the first ability is so fucking wordy for put a card in the soul pile plus 5,000.
No, you have to be playing Borrow Magnus. You cannot be putting this into another deck.
Have to.
Yeah.
Actually, it's illegal to soul charge out of Bear Magnus.
Yeah. How dare you?
I do
It's
like
now
the art. I like the
illegal.
trippy background.
I like the trivia background too. It's very neat.
Why do they word cards like this?
Because they hate us.
Scowling Demon Husk Glacia Labolus. So auto, once per turn when it attacks, if your bind zone has 2 or more different types of trigger icons, this unit gets power plus 5,000 on the battle. And then Energy Blast 3, draw a card.
Hey, Magistar support.
It's actually Omina Grugio support, and we have like 2 other cards that do basically the exact same thing.
Oh, so how do you feel about it?
We have 2 other cards to do that already do the same thing. Can they please print a grade 2 for Omina Grugio that does something other than get really big and gain card advantage?
This doesn't even get really big. That's
True.
the worst part.
That's true.
Yeah,
Drink.
the other ones are like 10, and then Misery Wing scales with every different trigger icon you have bound.
Yeah, and this one just gets 5.
Mm-hmm.
But you used energy, so it's okay. I don't know.
All right, this card's boring as shit.
It's repeatable. That's
Moving
the main
on
thing.
to this freak of nature, Compositive Freaks. So it's a grade 1 this time. If you have a grade 3 grade of Vanguard with Jeweled, gets shield plus 5,000 on guard circle. So 10k guard and Jeweled specifically. And then
Nice.
drop, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Jeweled in its card name, you can bind it, choose a grade 3 or greater from your drop, and put it in soul.
I don't think this is the difference maker for Jeweled, but it
No.
seems okay.
No, it does not all of a sudden make Jeweled a juggernaut of the meta, but it's helpful. It's a nice card.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Cool.
10k shield's nice.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, it's me again. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot I'm in the double it up. All right, Gravita Winona. Is that really the name they chose? All right. So grade 2 in drop has an auto and drop. When your meteorite is put into your order zone other than from drop, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Nordling in its card name, you can Energy Blast 3 and put this card in your hand.
Okay.
And then continuous on rear, this unit gets power plus 5,000 for every 2 meteorite cards put into drop from order zone this turn.
Cool.
It doesn't feel like a double R. Moving on.
This card certainly
Printing Gravidia cards.
All right, so the next card we have is Firearm of Conformity Beaming Blazar.
It's the intercept guy.
Oh, just the intercept guy? That's kind of cool art.
Yeah.
That is cool art. Very Link Joker.
Very wasted on generic cast card.
Yeah.
All right, we got Nebula Invoke Dragon, another grade 2. When it attacks, you can soul blast 1. It gets 5,000. If you have 5 or more self-modification modules, it gets 15 instead of 5.
Sure.
And the more important bit, if you have 4 or more self-modification modules, it gets shield plus 15.
That's pretty good. That
is good.
Yeah.
20k shield is quite nice, I will say. And the fact that it can be a 25k beater sometimes, but probably not.
5 is doable. Also, like, what's his fit? Impaldio also gives power, so this die does just get very, very big.
I like his big butt.
He does have a big booty.
All right. And then we have Blue Deathster, Sabine Melkmar. So when it's placed on rear or discarded from your hand during your Vanguard's ability, if you have a Vanguard with Blue Deathster in its card name, Energy Blast 3, choose a strategy from your drop and put it in your hand. And then auto on rear, when you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Avant-Garde in its card name, it gets 5 plus 5,000.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Like, Avant-Garde's gameplay loop requires you to, like, continuously eat the strategy cards, so this recycles them.
What's a Deathster, anyway?
I don't know. Somebody who's into death.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The Utility Shed Wizard. He's a grade 3, so then it's placed on guard circle. If you have a Bastion Vanguard, Energy Blast 2, it gets plus 10k shield for every 2 of your grade 3 or greater units. Cool.
Okay.
Kind of neat.
Like, okay. Well, I like the art on this, but the who is still coping on Bastion at this point?
I mean, Bastion is like kind of okay, right? Like the thing the deck needs is more defensive tools. I wish they could print cards that do more than just be defensive tools. They literally just did it for Impaldio, where it's also a decently good attacker.
Yeah.
Like you can just do both.
But this is an old archetype, therefore
All
you
right, but
can't
you could
have
play
two things going at
Bastion,
once.
play the old Alden, ride the old Alden, and then play the Alden cards.
There you go. All right, that's the way to do it. That's the play. That's the double onions play.
Yeah.
Love the art on this one too. Keter is killing it with the art in this set.
Let's
Really
see.
tell what's happening.
Heavenly Defense Dragon. I don't even. Wedge Fluence Dragon. It is a wedge influencer.
I hate it already.
He has a YouTube channel where he reviews door wedges. So during a battle boosted, if you have an Alden Vanguard, it gets plus 5k, and then if it boosts an Alden Vanguard Soul Charge 1 and gets plus 2, this card is not playable. You do not play this card. You do not need Soul that badly. If you do need Soul that badly, we'll consider it in the future.
Fair enough. Like, hey guys, welcome back to Wedge Fluence Dragon's channel, and today we're going to be talking about this type of door wedge. I don't know why I made him sound like an old-timey newscaster, but fuck it. All right. OTT Angel Feather-ish looking card.
Yeah. Henagon Saturate Sorceress. What's a Henagon? How many sides is that?
I'll look it up.
I got news for you.
A monogon is a polygon with one edge, so it's a circle. That makes sense. It has a bunch of circles on the art.
That does make sense. I didn't even know that was the name for it. I thought it was just...
So when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if you have Vanguard with Sorceress, Counterblast 1, search your deck for a grade 3 card with Hexa Orb. So this is just a better version of the other card that also searches Hexa Orb.
Yep. This is your Friendship Fairy. This is your...
But it also means you can have 8 searches for Hexa Orb.
Yeah, but the old one only finds specifically Hexa Orb Sorceress. And like Aquamarine does not count as Hexa Orb in the deck, so you can't search it.
Oh, that's tragic.
Well, now you got one. Yay! Hooray! And speaking of pet decks that got horrible support, Sylvan Horn Beast Mayarashi. For people who are like, what about we're skipping the skill drain guys. So
you're telling me that Germinate Found Dragon is just the Interceptor guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
So grade 1 8k at the end of the battle that this unit attacked. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Magnolia in its card name, Energy Blast 3, stand this unit, and this unit cannot attack until end of turn. I hate this card. I get what it's for. You attack with it first, you restand it, you boost with it. Fine. But like, so I would rather have my attacks do something than it just being like, all right, it's 13 under Elder or 23 under Mask. But like, I don't know. If I ran Alvin in the place of this, I could at least shave another card out of my opponent instead of it just being like, oh, it's a 23k booster. Yay.
What a boring card.
Yep. I hate it a lot. Sea Scissors of Deep Hades. This is a really cool looking card. Another 8k grade 1, act on rearguard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Zorga, retire 2 other rearguards, choose a normal order, and put it in your hand.
This seems fine.
Yeah.
It's a way to get all of your like guys that need to be called out of the drop zone out of the way, and then like there are situations where you probably need to recycle an order.
Yeah. Maybe your board's clogged up or whatever.
Yeah, like it seems fine.
Sometimes you just draw your orders in the wrong sequence, and you have to discard one you don't really want to, and then
Full Knowledge Foxel. This is a butterfly's fursona. Looks like 8k grade 1. Continuous on rear. During the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Leverage, it gets plus 5k. Drink. And auto on rear. When this boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Leverage, if you have an Infinity Eyes marker on your opponent's rear guard circle, this gets plus 2k until end of that battle. Then you can counterblast 1. Choose one of your back row rear guards until end of turn. That unit can attack from back row and gets plus 10k. So, glow nipples.
Yep. You can put glow nipples into Levy Dross.
Yes. And
it'll probably be like 30k.
Yeah, so glow nipples or Sylvanhorn Beast Geonosla is a grade 2 that when attacking from back row, you can counterblast 1, give your rear guard the same power that it has while attacking. So the play here is use this, give glow nipples the ability to swing from back row and give it 10k, then the marker gives it another 10k, and
so plus 30 onto something.
And give plus 30 onto something, yes. But... yeah, so that's kind of cool where we're seeing like some crossover with archetypes with each other.
Levy Dross feels like he really needs to draw this card, otherwise the deck immediately tanks in the amount of pressure it can make. Yes.
At least with Magnolia, I already have my back row attack set up from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hope there's a way to either draw enough cards to where this is, found, or a way to search it.
Mythiarch Habitat.
There you go. Or Frozen Resentments if the game is that late. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. New challenge, Delisafio. So, when it's placed on your guard circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Petralka in its name, why are we still supporting this card? Anyway, Energy Blast 3, reveal the top 7 cards of your deck. If they all have different names from Petralka in their different card names, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less unit from among them, call it to rear guard circle, choose up to 1 order card, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So Petralka was the, weird Highlander, restand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Neat support card.
Yeah, this card is fine, but it's also just you're supporting a Highlander deck, so you're gonna play 1, maybe 2 of it.
Yeah. Does she have a snake for a tail? What is that?
Let me see.
Or a worm?
No, that's just a dragon tail.
Oh. Okay.
She's just a dragon.
Yeah. Dragon.
It even says it in the card.
Yeah. Precious Grapher, Bernars. So that's the intercept one. Let's see. Sway with Swings, Volatiel. So this one is for Lycia Fail, so it's the 5k booster. And then when this gets put into soul by the ability of your Vanguard with Lycia Fail, draw a card, and if you didn't countercharge, countercharge.
Good.
Yep. Because Lycia Fail is easily the most pushed one of this set.
Yes.
Leave the makeup to me, Eshma. So this is the Flaming Lamb support. Energy Blast 4, search your deck for 1 great deck or drop for a grade 2 or less card with Flaming Lamb. Call it to rearguard circle, and then it gets 5k. If you search the deck, shuffle, and then act, you can put it into soul. Choose a card with Flaming Lamb in its name from drop, put it on the bottom of your deck, choose one of your units, it gets 5k. This card is fine.
Yeah. I still love how a lot of lyrical cards are just random phrases before the name. They're not the archetype's name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not faded one blank. It's leave the makeup to me, or oh, I forgot my phone at home, or or can you Venmo me for that? It's just shit you would say throughout the day. That's fun. Any other commons or rares we wanted to bring up?
There are a couple. Let me see if I can find all the ones. I know I want to read To Equalize the Scales of the World.
Okay. I'll grab that while you're doing that. To Equalize the Scales of the World. All right, so this is a normal order for Dragon Empire. Play this with Counterblast 1 if you have a Vanguard with a Lake Cobra. Choose up to 2 grade 3 or less cards with different card names and the overcharge ability in your drop column to rear. Dope. That is so good.
Yeah. So like I was saying, Alcalibra is just like easily the most complete deck out of this one. It also just has a recovery tool.
Yep. It's got a double Monster Reborn. Good stuff.
Yeah, and then I think the other one was like Knight of Illusionary Silence Clarence.
Okay. I'm just thinking of the TV show Clarence on Cartoon Network. Like fat
Yeah,
guy.
so this is for Levy Draw. So if it attacks or boosts, if you have an Infinity Eyes marker in the same column, if you did not countercharge this turn, you put into soul to countercharge 1.
Not bad.
Mhm.
Hooray.
So yeah. Those are the ones I wanted to talk about off the top of my head. I can't remember if there were any other important ones that like help define a deck. I don't think so.
I don't have any others, and Matt looks like he's like falling asleep at his keyboard.
Right.
It's okay. So winners, losers this set?
Dragon Empire and Lyrical are probably up there. Like, it's hard for me to evaluate like how well Lysiophale will do. Like, Alcalibra is the most like obviously good one, and I think all of the other Dragon Empire support is like very good. I would say the same thing for like Lyrical too. Lysiophale is like really strong. I think the support cards given to all of the other archetypes are also like very solid.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So like those two are easily the winners. They're also the ones I expect to impact the meta.
Makes sense. While this definitely doesn't make it the winner, I wouldn't discount Levidros out of hand. Like there's something lurking down there.
I think Levy Ross is strong but inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like the games where you just like mix Foxhill feel awful.
Makes sense. And then I guess for losing the set, Dark States.
Either Dark States or Brant.
Yeah.
Like I would probably say Dark States just because like Borrow Magnus does not feel like a deck I want to respect, even though like it might be okay. And like Brantgate kind of suffers from the same problem of like Impaldio as a deck is just not finished.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of space in the deck to like still do things. So the deck does not Soul Blast very much. Grade 2 Soul Blast, but nothing else does. And because you're counterblasting a lot, you're gonna play Bulbul Mine, so you get Soul back. It also doesn't really use any energy, and then as we've addressed before, it does not have a way to like make more gauges. It also doesn't really have a way to like toolbox with your gauged cards. Like that seems like obvious design space. Just Impaldio is not a finished archetype. It needs a second wave.
I mean, I'm sure it's coming. So
yeah,
all good. Cool. So thanks everyone for listening. Thanks to our $10 patrons. Darren, Cole, Josh, Jeremy, GR, Ollie, and Tony. If you want to be a $10 patron, patreon.com/Nexus at night. $10 a month. You support the show. You get these thank yous. You get your stuff in a day early. And you get a whole bonus show with the 2 and sometimes 3 of us. At Nexus at night on Twitter, Instagram, or anywhere else. Where can they find you, Matt?
Find me on Twitter, at Wiggums, 2Gs.
and you can find me at Plasma Eclipse.
Find me at Atlas Novak and all the places. My other podcast, Generation Dan, at Generation Dan on all the socials, which also has the podcast Last Minute History. Go check that out. That was pretty much it. Thanks everybody for watching, and until next time, I was Atlas.
I'm still Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
And have a good night, everybody.